500 years ago, Ferdinand Magellan was the first European to sail around the southern tip of South America. It's an icy climate here, and also home to the Magellanic Penguins, named after the Spanish explorer. Andrea Raya Rey has ventured down here to Tierra del Fuego to do some exploring herself. She's a biologist from Argentina's Southern Center for Scientific Research. She and her team make regular trips to the remote colonies of penguins here, 7 in total.
We're on our way to Isla Martillo, Hammer Island. The colony there has around 5,000 pairs of Magellanic penguins and 50 pairs of Gentoo penguins. The colony has been around since the 1970s, but we only started observing it in the 90s. And since then, it's been growing there continuously.
The seas are calm today, enabling the researchers to bring their equipment on land without any further problems. The penguins don't seem bothered by the visitors. There are several species living here together on the island. Andrea Rey has won an award for her insights into the impact of humans on the birds. Magellanic penguins dig their nest burrows in the ground. This is where they lay their eggs and raise their young. But the bird's very survival is influenced by human activity. Rising sea temperatures have changed marine food chains. For the penguins, it means hunting longer for food, which in turn means leaving their young alone for longer, and increasing their vulnerability to seagulls and other predators.
Southern Rockhopper penguins are among the species hardest hit by climate change. They eat very small types of prey, such as larvae, which are themselves most susceptible to changes in the temperature of the water. So the penguins derive less energy from their food, and that has a long-term impact on the population.
Andrea Rey and her team are installing an automatic monitoring system for the penguins. They fitted some of the birds with a special chip. A sensor records their movement in order to track general activity across the colony. Penguins do look rather helpless, on land at least, but they're excellent divers and swimmers. Some Magellanic penguins make it all the way to Uruguay and Brazil, covering a distance of 4,000 kilometers.
Penguins are guardians of the ocean. They're also a gauge of how healthy the marine ecosystems are. Examining their food intake, how far they swim to find that food, and their reproductive rate enables us to see how these species, which are dependent on the ocean, are faring.
Penguins go on shore to mate and raise their young, an extremely sensitive phase of their lives, which is under threat from growing pollution. Their nesting holes are increasingly filled with plastic waste, which mainly comes from the nearby city of Ushuaia.
90% of the nests contain plastic waste, as do the animals' stomachs and feces. Sea currents and winds carry the plastic to places you might think were untouched by human activity.
4 years ago, residents of Ushuaia teamed up to tackle the trash situation, a blot on the entire city coastline. The initiative was launched by Maya Muriel, who was appalled by the pollution brought to this remote city by the wind and by sea currents.
You see stray dogs tearing apart the garbage, looking for food. It belongs in a landfill, but a lot of it ends up on streets across the city. Then the birds come and pick away at the rest. We've gotten used to burying the garbage. Sometimes, when the snow arrives in winter, the trash is just left on the beach. And when the snow melts, the trash ends up in the sea.
Ushuaia is called the gate to the Antarctic. The 500,000 tourists who descend on Tierra del Fuego every year pose a further threat to the largely untouched ecosystem. In 2005, Andrea Rey founded a group bringing together citizens' initiatives and local tour operators. What they want to see is better management of the tourism sector, says the group's coordinator Sabrina Kisman.
There's been a rise in tourism, especially in the number of boats with tourist trips out to the sea or the canal. Plus, there's the improper behavior. There are boats going too close to the islands and using loudspeakers in the vicinity of the animals.
Tourism at one with nature, tourism that's in harmony with nature, is always welcome. It's one of the human activities that can help the most to conserve the environment, above all so that the populations, the communities, and the ecosystem remain as pristine as possible.
For the penguins, that would bring some welcome relief in the struggle for survival here in what is called the end of the world.